everyone, it's Paula from Paula Quilting. Welcome or welcome back. Did you buy, inherited it, found on the sales, or made your own old blocks in time and now you just don't know how to put them together? Well, this is tutorial for you. The bunch of blocks I will be working in this project, and probably a couple of more, is a very special bunch of blocks. Back in March 2020, when COVID hit here in UK, there was shortage of everything, like probably around the world, and a group of people who had some skills in sewing have come together on Facebook, created Sewing for Southampton group, and started making masks, scrap caps, extenders for the masks, wash bags for all the NHS and non-NHS carers in around of the Southampton area. Collectively, group created really thousands of items and delivered them around, and it was really beautiful to see how people work together to support our carers and NHS workers. Once the need for those items have kind of dropped, the group renamed to Southampton Sewing Social, and we just became a group of people sharing what we're doing in our crafts. To bring group together again, the idea came out to make a quilt, use 4 seasons as an inspiration and make 4 quilts. But because there was not so many takers, we decided we will make as many blocks as we can, and we'll just see what happens. Not all who took part are quilters, and not all blocks came as a requested size. Number of textures and techniques used by individual creators has also been a challenge, but all blocks are really beautiful and so much different. Let's get started. So, as mentioned in the intro, those blocks are not necessarily very straight, so I do need to square them up a little bit, but I'm not going with actual square. I just need the edges to be square or straight to be able to add strips to it. And I want to bring them up to 8.5 inches. So I will pull out my boxes with 1.5 inch strips, and I will sew them all around those blocks and then square them up. And I will probably square them up so they are a little bit of kind of on the wonky side, so you know, all of those not even edges as we have at the moment kind of disappear there. So I will carry on with straightening up. I think I need to have a new blade, and then I will add the strip. I'm really looking forward to see how that quilt come out, because with the range of the blocks we've got here, that is going to be very interesting. I finished adding borders to all of my blocks, or not mine, the group blocks, and some of them got just one round of the frames, some of them have double because the blocks were a little bit smaller. But because all of those blocks are so much different, that adding the scrappy borders to it, I think it's just adding the character really. There's no problem here at all. So my original plan was to do 7x9 grid, just put them all together, and then I would have a nice size quilt, 56 by 72 inches. That's my cheat sheet, it's available, so you can download for free. But I had a surprise visit with another lady who brought me some extra blocks, so now I've got more than I was kind of planning for. So I was just thinking, can I stretch those blocks somehow so I can make maybe 2 quilts, one bigger quilt and one smaller quilt. So I was thinking if I add sashing and some border around, then I could make still about 56 by 72 inch quilt. But then instead of 7 by 9 grid, I will do 6 by 8, and obviously the 2.5 inch sashing will add those missing inches both ways. And then I will see how many blocks I've got. Obviously I can make some extra blocks if I need to, and I will see what I've got left to do the second quilt. And I might add some other detail to that quilt depending what I've got left. So for the sashing, I had some of that like a natural color of the beige. I've recycled from some of my curtains I cut down. I made those curtains a few years back for my kids, so this is just a normal calico cotton on the back. I know what it was because I made them. So I have plenty of that, so I will just add that border here, so it's kind of going to blend in. You won't be kind of be able to see it much. You know, I'm just aiming here to add that extra inches I need. But then I will add some nice pop-up cornerstones here. So that should, you know, create that additional interest. I've got quite a lot of those blue from my Nigerian stash, so I think I will use all of those to add the color. And for the borders, I will use my perfect borders every time method. Basically you want to cut your borders to the size of your block. So it's basically like another sashing, but you just adding it all around. You know, the size will be different, or you can have double border, whatever you do, but you cut it to the size of your block, because depending on your seams, you know, what you add here from individual blocks, and you calculate how much the strip needs to be for the border, may not necessarily be the same thing. So I have put a lot of, you know, detail around it in my video about the perfect borders every time, so I will link it in the description below, you can check there. So that will be my border. I will use the blue border, and I'm just thinking, do I want to put the same color of the blue here, so it kind of will be just one border around, or should I add the blue colors here as well? I think I will add different color here, like, you know, it will match the cornerstones but with that blue around. So let's do that. And you want to, you know, with this method, the best way is to plan your borders at the time of the design, because you will be stitching it as a part of the block. So basically this is another row of the blocks you will be working on in this method. So again, it's you know, it's very well described in that video, so you have a look there. So that will be one, and I'm just thinking, should I add this beige again here, or maybe swap it, or maybe it's going to be too much. I think I will go with that would be too big. It's going to be, you know, going beyond the size I want to make. So I think I will leave it with the one border. You know, you can always add borders later if you need to, if it's not enough, but I think that will be just about enough. So the grid I will be doing is 6 by 8 with all of those sashing cornerstones and with the blue border. So let me crack on with it. So this board, you know, design wall is too small for me to, oh sorry, wrong place. It's too small for me to lay it out, so I will use my floor in the living room to do that. Now I still got some blocks left aside from those which are, well, I was worried that if I make a quilt out of it and I wash it, it's just going to go, you know, bad. So I've put them aside, and I would like to make a second project which will possibly some sort of nice bag. So, you know, if we raffle those quilts or something, they will come with nice packaging, you know, the bag, tote bag, you can use them separate for shopping or something like that. So, or pillowcase, I do not know yet. So that's the plan. Let me crack on with the sewing. The ultimate test for any quilt you make is when you wash it and you put it through the drying process, because if something went wrong somewhere, that's when you will see, and that's why I always wash my quilts before I either give them or sell them. So I washed this one, it went through the dryer and it came out perfectly fine. I think there's just one or two blocks where the hand applique kind of a little bit have loosened up, so I will, you know, adjust it by hand now, and it will be ready for our raffle. So that's project 1. I still got the blocks left, so I'll be working on the project 2, and I think there may be even project 3 and 4, so stay tuned to see what else I will make out of those blocks. Thank you for watching and see you next time!